Buenas noches, amigos, amigas, from a suburb of Detroit. I'm up in my home in Michigan here, and yeah, I'll be back very soon. But I want to talk a little bit about the channel and some other things. And first, I'll start out with I like re-uploading some of the older videos, and there are some videos that where my finger would get in the frame or something like that, and I apologize. When I first started, I still do it once in a while today, but nearly not as much. I'd get the finger in the frame, and that's because I hold the camera this way when I'm shooting videos, and then there are other times when I'll move the camera kind of rapidly at times, and that's because someone usually is walking into the frame. I can see them coming, and I have to move the camera really quick because they'll be so close to the frame, and they'll block the video out or something, or I'll go up and around. And then sometimes I really enjoy it. It might be a new location, or it might be a location I'm revisiting, but I notice something new and I want to get over to it, especially the Malecon videos going to the water or the walking videos going to the stores. So, I mean, I got a lot better at that, but, you know, I learned. And here's another thing I want to talk about. What I wasn't aware of in the thumbnails, I could actually take a still, insert it into the thumbnail. I wasn't aware of that until a few months ago. I was going through some YouTube stuff, and they mentioned that. And because when you're uploading a YouTube video, at least in mine, the way I do it, there's three choices that are given for the thumbnail. And sometimes I'll make a mistake and I'll let it go by, but sometimes I can catch it and insert a still in that thumbnail. So I'll talk about photography. I'm not a professional photographer, but I used to like to take stills, and right after I retired, I started going on vacations in Canada and the U.S. And one of the places that I went, I took some stills, and I took the iPhone over to Costco's. For those that aren't aware of this, I plugged it into a computer, and they would generate the photo, make a copy of it right there, and I'd get it in a matter of minutes. And I'll show you some of them because I put them in my hallway, a few of them, and I put them in the basement. I hang them up, and then I got many more just around the house. But I get these 8x10s, and it's amazing. It's amazing what an iPhone 5 did. The quality of the photos that I got printed from that iPhone. And here's one. It was when I was on the Pacific Northwest coast. That's the Washington Bridge. And I was in Astoria that day, and I was taking photos. I didn't have enough time that day to get over. I wanted to go over the bridge into Washington. This is Astoria, Oregon. And I wanted to get over to Vancouver, Washington, but I just didn't have enough time. And then my vacation ended, and so I was all over the place. So maybe next time if I go back there. But I was over at Cannon Beach, and right off the ocean, and man, wow, amazing, spectacular views. I did some on the highway too, and that's at the ocean there, Pacific Ocean. I printed that one up. I got some more. Let's see, Cannon Beach again. And the homes on Cannon Beach. Oh, wow. So I like having these up on the wall. And I put them in the basement too, and the hallway and the entrance of the home. Here's one. And that's an old hotel. And on second thought, I wish I would have got it while the sign was lit up too at night. That would have been really, it's beautiful when the sign's lit up. So, and I got some more. If you want to talk about Cannon Beach, there's a gentleman, he appears in a lot of the videos that I upload, Charlie Cook from the Charlie Cook Band. He's from Cannon Beach, and he recently went up there. So you can really talk with him about Canyon Beach. And here's one I got from the TV. I used to see these when I was a kid in the films, and still today when I watch older films. And this one, I'm going to take a picture of. And when I stop doing this YouTube channel, I'm going to insert this in the thumbnail. And you will know for sure that I stopped doing the channel for sure. But I do like taking these stills. Now, I'm not a photographer, of course. It's amazing what an iPhone 5 did. I think it was an iPhone 5. But I was worked on a film, on a motion picture in the mid-'80s. It was released in the mid-'80s, but I didn't work in the photography department or the camera department, but I did work on the production crew. And if you see me, when you get down there, I'll show you that film. Let me touch this. I'll show you that film where my first name and last name is in the credits. And I worked with the production crew, and I'll talk about that film if you want to talk about film. And I talk about a lot of things. I love film. I took film courses in college. I also took some private film courses, and I love talking and viewing films, like foreign films, independent films from the U.S., films from all over the world. And I'll tell you, although I've been in Cuernavaca only 2 weeks, I did go and live in San Miguel de Allende for 6 months. And in the Hotel Soto, there's a beautiful little movie theater. It has 28 seats. Now, I counted the seats. Very interesting place to see films. You can see films from the U.S., Mexico, and other parts of the world. They have films available. I used to go there at least once a week to catch films. Now, if you go to, say, Lakeside, now in Ajijic, there's 2 film theaters. One is at the Bougainvillea Plaza. The other one is only blocks away, not far away, and that's at the Central Laguna Mall. Now, I hadn't gone and seen any films in Lakeside yet, but that's on my list. So you could always go there. I've talked to many people who've been to those theaters. They love them. Most recently, I talked to a couple people. They saw Elvis, the movie Elvis, a little while back ago, and he said it was great. It's a great experience, so I need to do that. Okay, let's talk about music. Mexico, of course, many of you know, have some great musicians, and I've been listening to Latin music since I was a kid. I'd hear it in my household, in the home there. And Mexico, for those who don't know, but many of you do know, has great musicians. You're going to find them, once again, all over Mexico, but I didn't go to hear any go to any venues in Cuernavaca where they have music, but I'd hear it in the Zócalo, the Jardines, the plazas, like whenever I'm in San Miguel de Allende or different towns and cities, Oaxaca City, and Lakeside, and the plazas there. You're going to find many people playing music there right in the plazas, but I went to quite a few good venues in San Miguel de Allende. I was there for 6 months. I loved it. A lot of great musicians there. Also in the Lakeside area, when I was first introduced to Lakeside a little more than 3 years ago, I found out there's a lot of great venues with music. You can hear and listen to music. It's just excellent. They're all over the place. Now, I've uploaded a lot of videos, music videos on this channel. So you can get to watch those. Go into the archives, in a backlog of videos, and see those. A lot of great musicians here, or in the Lakeside area. I'm not there again yet. I got to go back. I'm going to be back soon. And talking on like I'm there. Anyway, yeah, you'll find some great musicians They're excellent. They're all over, all types of music over there in the Lakeside area. Okay, so talk about art. I love art, and I've always loved art. And I remember as a kid, when I was 11, I used to do a lot of drawing. And by the time I got 12, I gave it up. I got into organized baseball when I was a kid, and then I started playing tennis, and I just put art aside. But I revived drawing again when I went to San Miguel de Allende. I used to go to a restaurant quite a bit called Via Organica, and I remember one time I decided to walk on one part of the neighborhood I hadn't been in before, and I discovered this art supply store, and I was curious. I walked in there, and they had paints, of course, and paintbrushes, but I've never used paints or paintbrushes, but I did pick up some colored pencils and some erasers and a big pad. Started doing a lot of drawing, and I still have those drawings today. Now, I did that again when I went to Ajijic. I found an art store, and I bought some colored pencils, once again, some erasers and an art pad, and went to doing a lot of drawing. And many of them I gave away to friends. I still have some, and then I gave them away to people. They said, hey, I like that, because they were very quick drawings. They were abstract drawings, and I gave them away. So I do love art, too. You'll find in San Miguel, well, Cuernavaca, a lot of art all over these cities. In Mexico, you're going to find some great art, for those who don't know. And San Miguel de Allende has some big galleries, a lot of galleries in San Miguel de Allende. You'll find art in the plazas, on the streets all over. You're going to find beautiful art to look at or buy, you know. I did buy some stuff in Oaxaca City, not real expensive, but I did put it in my luggage. I managed to put it in my luggage, some in tubes, and then some were flat, a couple drawings that I bought, and I put them in between some cardboard, but got them up to the U.S. And today, when I go to Lakeside, I like to buy children's art from the Children's Art Program there. They have some good art I buy there, or the Children's Art Auction in the plaza in Ajijic. But I did buy a painting, a very inexpensive painting, but it's beautiful. I got it for a good price in Chapala. And if you want to buy art, you could always buy art at some of the bazaars, too. There's galleries in Lakeside also. You're going to find galleries, but you're going to find a lot of murals all over the Lakeside area, beautiful murals. And yeah, so you're going to see a lot, enjoy a lot of culture and different things. And there's just a lot to do. We talk about all kinds of things. We talk about film. We talk about art. We talk about music. We talk about sports. We talk about everything under the sun, you know. So it's not, your conversations aren't going to be with me or others, isn't going to be limited to those things, because there's so many other, many interesting things that people do that are just as interesting that you can talk about with when you meet expats and Mexican residents. Now, I do that, and I always welcome people to do interviews for this YouTube channel. I talk to a writer, I talk to a guy who does this or that, whatever a person likes to do, you know. Let's see, there's a guy I'd like to get an interview of. He's a hiker. I still have to do that. He said he'd do it, but we just never connected. And then there's a guy that's a carpenter. He's a professional carpenter. He used to build boats in Seattle. I'd like to connect with him and do an interview there. So there's a lot of people who do some interesting things when you go to these expat communities. And the Mexican residents, too. Very interesting. Artists, builders, all kinds of people. And I do interviews with Mexican residents who, and they don't have to speak English to participate on the channel. Sometimes they'll speak either very little English or they don't speak any English and they say, well, I can't, that's okay. You can speak in Espanol. So there's no prerequisite for Mexican residents to do an interview or showcase their goods or their business or whatever it is. They can speak in Espanol if they choose to. And I'm just as happy when they do that. So I'm really happy to do this channel. And when you get down there, you're going to meet a lot of people that you're going to enjoy meeting. And like I said, if it doesn't have to be sports, it doesn't have to be you're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And you're going to have a great time. There's a lot of wonderful expats and Mexican residents to meet. You're going to find that you're always going to find something to do. Whether it's coffee shops, etc., there's so many things in Mexico, art, culture, sports, whatever different types of sports, whatever, it's there. So you're going to enjoy it in many places you go to Mexico. So with that, I'm going to close this video. It's been a long video, and I can see it up on the screen. I want to say thanks for viewing. Hasta luego. And buenas noches. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for viewing.